is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Sports. We are Southeast.
It's another beautiful night for baseball in Atlanta. Dansby Swanson, Tyler Flowers, and the Braves had booming bats last night. Tonight, they try to earn a series split as we wrap up a 4-game set at home with the fighting Phillies. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. Well, it took a while for Atlanta to pick up their first victory of the season against the Philadelphia Phillies, and I think it's safe to say it was worth the wait. A SunTrust high 14 runs for the Atlanta Braves last night, a chance to split the series, and the offense was last night's story.
Yeah, that was a great game to watch last night because so many different guys were contributing, so many different guys were having big nights, and up and down the lineup you could just watch guys padding their stats, if you want to call it that. Brandon Phillips had a good night. Nick Markakis had 3 doubles. Dansby with a 3-run homer. The bottom guys in the order were amazing. From the 6th through the 8th, those guys scored 8 runs last night. Unbelievable how they contributed throughout the course of the ball game.
And don't forget Mike Fultonevich, who was brilliant over his 7 innings of work. And tonight it's R.A. Dickey's turn to face the fighting Phillies. Ben Lively's making his 2nd major league start. He picked up the first win for the Philadelphia Phillies. His last time out, it was the first win for the Phillies by a pitcher since April 27th in a starting assignment. It's a perfect night for baseball. It's a veteran against a rookie. It's game 4 of the series. The Braves and Phillies get things started right after this.
Baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less.
More Chamber of Commerce weather tonight at SunTrust Park. Nice crowd filing in for the finale of this 4-game series. As we mentioned a moment ago, the Braves picked up their first win against Philly last night. Comfortable temperatures, winds out of the west at 6 miles an hour. Forecast partly cloudy for the rest of the evening, and hopefully it'll be sunny skies and smooth sailing for R.A. Dickey, who's looking to even his record at 4 wins and 4 losses. Phillies have had a much better month of June than they had in May. They were 6-22 last month. Phillies are 4-2 this month already. And Pete Mackanin is their skipper. His Toyota starting lineup has Cesar Hernandez, Odubel Herrera, and Aaron Altair hitting third tonight. Joseph Franco Saunders hitting 6th and right. Rupp, Galvis, and Ben Lively, the youngster, pitching and batting 9th. It's always a challenge to face R.A. Dickey, the knuckleball. We hope it's dancing again for the Braves right-hander tonight.
42 years old, 6'3", 215 out of Nashville. His home road splits include a winning record here at SunTrust Park. But one thing that's happened to him here, he's given up 12 home runs this year, and 9 of them in 6 starts have been given up here in this ballpark. So let's go right now to the 4 keys to pitching success. Number 1, walks. He's been walking a bunch of guys. He's walked 10 in his last 11 1/3 innings. Even he has said, I've never walked this many guys before. He's got to clean that up a little bit. And yard, keep it in this yard tonight, and he's got a chance to have a good night.
Interesting defensive alignment for the Braves tonight, in that Kurt Suzuki is not going to be R.A. Dickey's battery mate for tonight's ball game. It'll be Tyler Flowers instead for the first time in regular season play tonight.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Kurt, but if there were something wrong with him, Brian Snitker wants Tyler Flowers to be somewhat familiar with trying to catch this knuckleball. That's why he's in there tonight, just for a little experience on it.
So we'll see how Tyler fares behind the plate. We'll see how R.A. Dickey fares on the mound. And we'll see if Atlanta can beat the Phillies for the 2nd straight game and earn their 26th win of the year. The Mets are in town. They will open up the series with the Braves tomorrow night. 4 games in 3 days. So a run through the East for Atlanta. The Phillies tonight, the Mets over the weekend, then a quick jaunt up to Washington after the weekend series against New York. So Cesar Hernandez will lead off. 3 hits in the series, .287 batting average. And that's called a strike. Officially 73 degrees at first pitch. And the bat goes sailing to the screen, and Hernandez down quickly, 0-2. Stayed upstairs. Your point about R.A. and his bases on balls. His walks per 9 ratio is the highest it's been in 12 seasons. He's averaging almost 5 walks per 9 innings pitched. Some of that, again, is the nature of the pitch he throws. The knuckleball is extremely difficult to hit, catch, and control. But it seems like for R.A. Dickey, there have been some 2-out walks, which has led to 2-out run scoring opportunities. And in this park, as you said, we can think of at least 2 games where one knuckleball that didn't knuckle cost him a long ball and the game.
Right, and it seems like those knuckleballs are always up in the zone. When they're letter high or so, they don't tend to sink, they just stay flat.
Strike 3. Hernandez knew that, and Dickey has a strikeout to start the night.
Good one there. When that thing is starting about belt high and then sinking below that, that's a sign of a good night.
You've used the term another tumble.
Yeah.
Did that one seem to turn over and tumble?
One more turn.
So a good start for R.A. Dickey. Odubel Herrera is coming up. This guy is on an unbelievable roll. His last 11 hits have gone for extra bases. This one bunted back to Dickey. He's going to throw to first, and R.A. got him by a step. Rio Ruiz and Tyler Flowers out to the mound to buy Dickey a little extra time.
Thank you very much. 5 doubles and a homer in this series. And Tried to bunt his way on.
And he's got a couple of hits against RA in his career, so certainly surprising. And an easy out. Here's Aaron Altair, who hasn't been an easy out. He's 4 for 8 in the series, including a home run. Phillies have got a lot of good outfield production in this series with Howie Kendrick, with Altair, with Herrera. Tonight it's Aaron's turn to play. And he takes one inside.
Yeah, their production in their outfield overall has been a lot improved over last season.
They've combined for 74 extra base hits. They had 132 extra base hits by their outfielders all last year. So they figure to fly by that as that ball's hammered toward right. Markakis to the edge of the track, makes the grab, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for R.A. Dickey. The Braves will take their first look at rookie Ben Lively next. That's awesome. Here's a look at the Atlanta lineup for Brian Snitker. The Braves skipper is always presented by Toyota. We mentioned Tyler Flowers is behind the plate. Ruiz, Swanson, R.A. Dickey, the bottom part of the attack. And we'll see what Ben Lively features. He came to the Phillies from Cincinnati, and he picked up a win against the Giants last time out.
Yeah, take a look. No strikeouts. He walked 3 guys, which is also unusual for him, but no Ks. He's 90 to 93 with a good curveball, a changeup and a slider occasionally. Has a little bit of an unorthodox delivery that's hard to pick up according to hitters. He's 6'4", 190, but he kind of crouches down a lot shorter than that in his delivery.
Ender Inciarte greets him first. Ender is on an amazing roll. He's got a 4-game hitting streak. 10 hits and 16 tries in that stretch. And 75 hits for the year, tied for 3rd most in all of Major League Baseball. So Ender is really coming on after a slow first 3 weeks. And it's downstairs.
This guy's had amazing minor league numbers last year, especially combined between AA and AAA. He went 18-5 with a 2.69 ERA.
And a leadoff walk for Ender Inciarte. A promising start for the Braves. And that'll bring up Brandon Phillips.
And again, his 3 walks against San Francisco, a bit surprising, and his leadoff walk here because he had 1 walk or less, 1 walk or 0 walks in 7 of his 9 starts at Lehigh Valley.
Well, those numbers would tell you that he's ready for the next level. And as I mentioned in our opening comments, the Phillies had a tremendously long drought of victories by a member of their starting rotation. Lively's last outing was their first win by a starter since April 27th, which is almost impossible when you think about it. To go virtually a full calendar month without a starting pitcher going deep enough in the game to get a win. But when you look at the Phillies' 6-22 May record, well, it was a team-wide collapse. No balls and a strike for Phillips. And a line drive. That's headed for the gap. Alter's not going to get it. He'll cut it off in front of the track. And Inciarte's on his way to third, where he will stop. And Brandon Phillips is doubled. And Atlanta's got runners at second and third, and nobody out.
He's had a good series. That's 6 for 14 for this series for Brandon. Inside breaking ball hung up for him. I thought for a second this was going to get in the gap and get past Alter. Nice play by him to keep it from getting to the wall.
So a great chance for Nick Markakis, who had a gigantic game last night. Nick had 3 doubles, drove in 5 runs. And a shot to second is going to get 1 home. Ender will score on a sharply hit ground ball to second. And Phillips moves to third with 1 out. It's 1-0 Atlanta.
Braves were the first ones on the board last night, and they kept adding to it. Nick accomplished 2 things there. He gets the Braves on top first and gets another runner to third.
That's his 8th RBI of the series. And the Braves this year 14-11 when they score the game's first run. Chance for another one here with Matt Kemp. So while Nick Markakis' bat is coming to life, Matt Kemp's is a little quiet right now. Let's see if he can solve Lively. Matt 2 for 12 so far in this series. High fly ball. That's crushed to the right center field gap. That ball is going to bounce off the base of the fence. It's 2-0 Atlanta. Kemp glides into second with a rocket shot double. And the first inning tonight is starting the way the 8th inning ended last night. Wow, was that ball smacked?
He hit that so hard that Herrera kind of quit running after it in center field like he thought it was going over the fence. Low fastball, smoked to right center. Either that or Herrera thought it's going to hit the wall so hard I got to stand back and play it off the fence.
So Matt Adams is the batter, and this Braves offense just continues to punish opposing pitchers. Matt Kemp, best batting average in Major League Baseball on fastballs, hitting .426. Got one and didn't miss it here in the first. And inside for Matt Adams, who hit a home run last night. A home run that came against Andres Blanco, a Phillies infielder who came on to try to save another Philly relief pitcher. He's hit 4 homers in his last 5 games. This one's popped up. Galvis drifts out. And Alter in left is going to make the play. That's the second out of the inning. And Joe, as we said, there has been very little wrong with the Braves offense. If you look at the big body of work, they're putting the ball in play. They don't strike out much. They're scoring their 4, sometimes 5 runs a game. Can they get enough consistent starting pitching to take advantage of that is the question.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with it from day one, and I've even been more impressed in how they have compensated for the loss of Freddie Freeman. I don't want to say they haven't skipped a beat, because you can't lose a player like that and not feel it, but they have really done a good job of filling in.
So Tyler Flowers, the hitter, with 2 outs. And Lively skips one up there. 1 ball, no strikes.
You know, for Lively, his first start against the Giants, nobody knew him, especially a West Coast team that there's probably guys in their system that have never even faced him in the minor leagues. For the Braves, that's different. Braves are in the International League, and they had a chance perhaps to get a better scouting report on him after seeing him pitch against the Giants and seeing him in AAA.
Now it's Tyler Flowers' turn to lose the bat handle as he fouls one away, a ball and a strike.
Because they have been extremely aggressive against a guy they've never faced before.
Lively's out of the University of Central Florida in Orlando. Was a 4th-round pick by the Reds, who acquired Marlon Byrd for Lively, who was pitching at Pensacola. So the Phillies saw something, and he's graduated through their system and is making his 2nd start tonight. Out of play, right side for Flowers, a ball and 2 strikes.
It's kind of, it's too early to know, but it's one of those John Smoltz deals. You know, you make a deal to get a guy to help you for a pennant race, and as Cincinnati did, and the Phillies are the beneficiary by getting a pitcher who's now in the big leagues.
Cameron Rupp asked for time and got it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Braves catcher. Atlanta 2, Phillies nothing. A leadoff walk, a Phillips double, a Markakis ground out, and a Matt Kemp double has plated the first 2 runs. Deuce is wild for Tyler Flowers, and he cracks one down the left field line and into the second deck foul. This guy is not fooling anybody.
And Tyler just continues to hit the ball hard. Great contact.
Tyler's reached base safely in 19 straight games. Had a 7-game hitting streak interrupted on Monday. And he's going to strike out to end the first. That is the first big league strikeout for Ben Lively. But it comes after the Braves tag him for 2 first-inning runs. R.A. Dickey back to work after a perfect first.
Up 2-0 in the top of the second on this one. Yes, I am down here in the squatting position. I'm catching. But how about this, guys? Key to catching the knuckleball, do not decide which direction to go until late, because the knuckleball is going to break late. It usually breaks right or left. So the normal traditional catching stance does not work, according to Tyler Flowers and Suzuki, because when you track it to the left, you'll hit that elbow in the knee. So you'll see catchers move into this position, usually going right down here, and it frees up the elbow to go left right here and make the stab. Chip and Joe, you can't get this anywhere else.
No. I don't know where you got those socks, but you can't get that information anywhere else.
You guys don't miss a thing. Good night.
Hey, we're just glad you're wearing them, Paul. So
well, you know, and when I wore these today, I didn't know I was going to be doing this. So
they're awfully cool.
It all happened so late.
Tommy Joseph quickly behind. No balls, 2 strikes.
You know what, though? That was very informative, because I've noticed Tyler, when he was warming him up, I've noticed Kurt Suzuki doing the same thing, and I wondered why they were kind of sitting at an angle. Now I know.
It seems to me it's almost like a squatting first baseman's position, like holding a runner at the bag. And somewhat apropos in that they use a catcher's mitt that's more like a first baseman's glove than a catcher's mitt. Tommy Joseph, the Phillies' first baseman. He's had a good series, 5 hits. He's hit 10 homers. And he's going to line one over short. And with nobody out, Joseph has the first Philadelphia hit here in the second inning. And that'll bring up Michael Franco, the Phillies' third baseman.
All right, he's got a good ERA in his career against the Phillies. 13 starts, a 3.12 ERA, 5-5 record.
Well, while many of the Phillies have had a good time hitting here at SunTrust Park, the exception is Michael Franco. He's only 1 for 12 in the series. And that's in for a strike. Michael Franco hitting .215 for the year with 7 homers. And a swing and a miss. That one got away from Flowers, and Joseph will move up 90 feet.
Moving down and away.
Scored a passed ball. Joseph at second for Franco. 0-2 the count. Fly ball center, pretty well hit. Ender retreats and sets up. There's the catch. Runner tags. Here comes his throw to third, and Rio had to jump, and that allowed Joseph to get in ahead of the swipe tag try. But what a throw by Inciarte on the fly from the warning track in center, and almost perfectly thrown.
Yeah, almost on the money. But he got himself behind the baseball, came to it, perfect footwork. And you can airmail it there where you've only got one base runner, don't have to worry about anybody else advancing. But it was that close.
Well, I know how much you love watching that guy throw. What a treat. And he nearly nailed Joseph at third base. Here's Saunders. Michael Saunders in the lineup because he's had good luck against R.A. Dickey. 3 career hits, 2 of them home runs. And a battle of former Blue Jays here in the Phillies second. Now the challenge for Tyler Flowers even more difficult here.
Right.
Runner at third and a knuckleball. Popped up. Rio gives chase over near the tarp and no play. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Saunders didn't get it. Dickey has his second strikeout.
And that's the one that sometimes gives him trouble. Doesn't get away with it. I think that one was just high enough to be out of the zone against a left-handed hitter that's a good low ball hitter.
So 2 outs for Cameron Rupp, the Phillies catcher. Up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Driven down the right field line. That's headed for foul ground. Long run Marquez, and he comes up a step or 2 shy. And Rupp gets another swing. It's a ball and a strike. Rupp is hitless in his last 7 at bats.
Already a good night for that young man.
And now the 1 ball 1 strike pitch. That's sprayed to the right side. Now Rupp down to his last strike. Braves riding high after a 14-1 thumping of the Phillies last night. Mike Foltynewicz was terrific. Allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 8 of his last 11 starts. He picked up the win. Now Dickey trying to follow with an impressive start of his own. He's got a 2-run lead.
He's going to have to earn it. This guy's 7 for his last 12 with runners in scoring position. He played here in game 2 but didn't have any opportunities. Another prize.
Oh, how about that stop?
Just throw your glove out there and hope on that one. Diving.
So that play saved a run. Putting together a terrific at bat here. Rupp is sharing time with Andrew Knapp behind the plate. And that just missed. Dickey wanted that pitch. Instead he's got a full count.
Not sure that was a knuckleball. Yeah, it was. It did just miss. It's a hard knuckleball. 78.
Popped him up. Center of the diamond. Who wants it? Got a crowd there. It's going to be Dansby Swanson with Brandon Phillips behind, and that will retire the side. Phillips gives Dansby a playful shove. He wanted to make that catch. All's well that ends well for Dickey in the second. He leads 2-0.
Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
So far, so good for R.A. Dickey. The Braves gave him 2 first-inning runs. One of Joe's keys was control the bases on balls. Dickey hasn't walked anybody yet. And he's coming up in the Braves' second on another great baseball night in Atlanta.
Boy, there's a new fan. A fresh baseball fan.
As we continue Kids Week here at SunTrust Park, final day for that. And kids have had a great time. Braves did an excellent job. First 3 games of this series. Before the games, kids running around the ballpark, having a blast, high-fiving the players, on-field parades and such. A lot of fun. Here's Ruiz. And Rio smacks one off the screen.
These two may have met in International League play.
One ball, 1 strike. Little tapper, and Lively is going to apply the tag as Rio couldn't deke him. There's the first out.
Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light, and it's about Dansby Swanson tonight. First 28 games this season, not much working. Last 28 games, he's got a lot working. 266 average, 17 RBIs versus 7 in the first 28. Had a big 3-run homer last night. So anyone that thinks that Dansby's not figuring some things out, just take a look at those numbers.
Lined over short. And one thing Dansby has said, he feels like he's got his swing back. One thing that he's never lost is his swagger. This slow start has in no way shaken his confidence. And he's handled those dry spells very well. And now, as you said, he's squaring up everything.
Watch how quick this was. Foot down real quick. Got his hands through there beautifully. Right on the barrel. I think he's off to the races.
R.A. Dickey with a bunt try. That is foul. Joseph couldn't get there. Strike 1.
I was talking to Dansby and to Tyler Flowers the other day. We had a rookie and a veteran player, and I was asking about something that's new to me and new to a lot of baseball teams is a psychologist, a sports psychologist that's on staff. And I said, you know, tell me what your thoughts are. And Dansby immediately said, oh, I like it, and I like him. And I said, you think it has helped you, especially early in the season? He said, no question about it. And I said, it is just the power of positive thinking. He said, oh, no, it's beyond that. It's more about thinking about your approach in a positive way and seeing positive results from that. And Tyler made a similar comment talking about how he's been helped in situations where he used to pinch hit. Tyler said, you know, I just get so antsy. My heart rate would go up. I'd get too excited. And he said he's helped me a lot with that in terms of some, I don't want to call them drills. It's something else. I'll call it a drill, but something to help him reduce his heart rate, relax, and make him a little calmer in those situations.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I said, you know, old school me, we never had that. Well, it was up to the coaches or teammates to kind of help you out, get you out of a bad spell, and keep you propped up. And they both said from different vantage points how much he helps.
This one's popped up behind the plate and off the screen. Dickey is going to strike out. He's unable to lay down a sacrifice. And the lineup cards turned over to Ender Inciarte with 2 outs.
Paul, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree 100%, Joe. That's one of the things that changed my career, learning to breathe and calm myself down in the big situations. But then I start to breathe deeply from my gut before every pitch. Just a few seconds before I would start my delivery, it relaxed me. I was able to hit my spot. I learned that from Chris Carr in Kansas City, who now works with the Olympic team. So Nuke LaLoosh was right. You got to breathe, guys. And in all seriousness, it can, little things like that can change your career.
I was just thinking about it from Dansby's standpoint, because he was scuffling so badly early in the year. You could lose confidence. You can feel like everything that used to work doesn't work anymore. Now what do I do? But he feels like the things that he practices now are things that keep him confident and on a high level.
Popped up. That's headed for the Phillies dugout, foul and out of play. Let me ask you guys this. This is a game where failure is the norm. Even when you're going great, you're going to fail as a hitter 7 times or more out of 10. How do you, even when things are going well, keep those little devils on your shoulder from making you think the wrong things?
Nick Markakis today in an interview we did with him, he talked about, he thinks you have to fail before you can succeed, and those failures teach you how to handle it.
For me, it was just learning that taking one pitch at a time, one game at a time. I think when your ERA is high, and I don't know, Joe, if you feel this way, when you have a low batting average after a month or two, you can try to get it all back at once. You start to figure things out. You're like, I got to throw 3 shutouts in a row just to get it back down. And you can't really think like that. You just have to take it one pitch at a time.
Hernandez with a nice play, and Ender beats the rap at first. Lively couldn't field it. Hernandez handled the slow roller, but Inciarte's great speed earns him an infield hit for the moment. We'll see if the Phillies challenge the call.
Jordan Baker's the first base umpire. Tough play for Hernandez with a fast runner. They may overturn that.
So the Phillies are going to challenge the call at first, and we have our first review in tonight's ball game.
Back to something Paul was saying about trying to get it all back at once, and whether it's your batting average or your ERA, if you're trying to get your batting average back up to respectability when you've gotten yourself in a deep hole, it's hard to maintain a confident stature all along and believe that you're going to be able to do it. So good for Dansby at such a young age to be able to get this going. It's not like you've forgotten to hit in his case. He knows how to hit. He knows what's made him successful. And in a lot of cases, we kept saying he was hitting in some tough luck, and he was.
So the verdict is in from New York, and this call is going to be overturned. So Ender Inciarte's out on a bang-bang play at first. Dansby Swanson left stranded, and we head to the 3rd inning with the Braves still in front.
and some work with him in his bullpen sessions and stuff to try and get as comfortable as you possibly can with a knuckleball, which I don't know if there is such a thing, but yeah, just embrace it, do the best you can in the moment, and if you miss it, go get it, try and catch them, stick some strikes, and you know, whatever happens, it's nothing new for me, missing it, catching it, picking it up. It's all stuff I've done before, so.
That's something Bob Uecker talked about all the time. He was asked about catching the knuckleball. He caught Barney Schultz back in the 60s as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals. And Uecker said it's the easiest pitch in the world. And the reporter asked, well, why? He said, I just go back to the backstop. It stops rolling. I pick it up and I throw it back to him. A broken bat on a knuckleball. Galvis's bat exploded in his hands. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Did you see what that ball did? He was checking his swing and the ball just chased in on his hands and splintered it. Watch this ball move right to left.
I've never seen that.
That was crazy.
So here's Lively. Not only did this kid pick up his first big league victory against the San Francisco Giants, he also picked up a hit.
Good sign tonight for Dickey. It's dancing.
That's upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. And then he's thinking knuckleball, and then R.A. drops a 83-mile-an-hour knee-high fastball at him. That's hit slowly down the third base line. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ken Lively was originally a draft pick of the Cincinnati Reds. They took him in the 4th round in 2013. He was signed by scout Greg Zunino. Greg Zunino's son is Mike Zunino, the catcher for the Seattle Mariners. And a swing and a miss. R.A. Dickey has another strikeout. That's his 3rd, and he's set down 5 straight. And all of a sudden, the Seattle Mariners, by the way, are playing great. Gotten back to 500. The Mariners are 30-30. They are riding a 5-game winning streak. It's the longest active winning streak in the big leagues right now.
Yeah, and we've won 9 out of 10.
One ball, 1 strike for Cesar Hernandez, who struck out to start the game. Right back up the middle. Dansby to his left, glides and guns, and got his man. 3 up, 3 down for Dickey in the 3rd. He's set down 6 straight. Brandon Phillips ready to go for Atlanta. inning. Brandon Phillips scored the second Braves tally, and he'll lead things off. He is our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot feature.
How about that? 20 out of 22 home starts. We know the hitters love SunTrust Park. Brandon may be at the top of that list.
Six more hits for Phillips against the Phillies in this series. He's now 11 for 26 against them this year. And that's swept off the plate for Phillips. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lively got his first and second major league strikeouts in the game. Tyler Flowers, his first victim. R.A. Dickey the second, who fouled off a strike-2 bunt try. And now he's behind Phillips, leading off the Braves' third. High fly ball center field. Herrera drifting back, and he's going to catch it shy of the track. That went straight up and then just seemed to die on Brandon. 1 out.
I don't think we've seen the ball jump so far in this homestand like we did in the previous homestands.
I agree with you. There's been some homers hit.
Yeah. But that ball a couple of homestands ago was a home run without any doubt.
Markakis picked on a first pitch and grounded out to second, but it brought home a run. And he takes downstairs. Nick Markakis is 48 hits away from 2,000 now. And is one of 3 Braves with a 3-double, 5 RBI game in franchise history. Gene Moore and Billy Southworth, the other players to have done what Nick did last night. A pretty pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lively looks like a different guy after the first inning.
Better command. And that is about the top end for him at 94. He was 6-1 at Lehigh Valley this year with a 2.40 ERA. Had given up 1 homer in 56 innings.
Line drive into right field by Markakis. So Nick has a 4-game hit streak. He'll take that into the series opener tomorrow night.
He's lucky that this wasn't a home run, a high hanging breaking ball that gave Nick a chance to adjust to it. Kind of one-handed it. One more, closer to 2,000.
Matt Kemp hit a ball in the right center field gap for a run scoring double his first time up. It was a little late there. Strike 1. Mentioned the Braves offense. Braves are averaging 4.68 runs per game at SunTrust Park, the most average runs per game in their home park since 2010. They averaged a little over 4.8 runs a game at Turner Field. To the left side. That's going to sneak through. Matt Kemp has 2 hits. Markakis will stop at second, and here's Matt Adams. Kemp had 2 hits the entire series. He's got 2 in 2 trips in game 4.
Another bad breaking ball. Matt was on top of it. Put a lot of top spin on that grounder that helped get it through the infield.
That's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. This, if my math is correct, is the 21st game the Braves have played since Freddie Freeman got hurt. The Braves have won 9 of them. Adams has done a nice job holding the fort at first. This one's popped up left side. Foul ground. Franco right in front of the Phillies dugout, leans in, and it's off the screen. Little pop into shallow center. Hernandez got an excellent jump, and he tracks it down.
Lively made 2 good pitches in on Matt Adams, tied him up. One was a foul ball. That one was an out.
Braves have had at least 1 base runner in every inning. They've got 2 here in the 3rd on base hits by Markakis and Kemp. And now Tyler Flowers is coming up. On catchers with at least 75 plate appearances this year, Tyler Flowers is 3rd in the big leagues with a .459 on base percentage. And he's got the 4th highest batting average at .350. And coming back to the Braves organization might have been just the tonic for Tyler Flowers offensively. In 431 games with the White Sox, Tyler Flowers a .223 hitter. In 124 games with the Braves, he's hitting .295. This one popped up. Hernandez back out. Herrera coming in, and it's the center fielder's call. He'll make the play, and Lively escapes further 3rd inning trouble. Middle of the order coming up for the Phillies in the 4th. They're down 2-0.
Welcome back, everybody. Braves up 2-0 in this one, top of the 4th. Talking to Mike Foltynewicz later last night and even today. 2 starts before he struck out 10 hitters. 7 of those were on high fastballs. Yesterday, he switched, say, down in the zone. You saw a lot of outs that were down with that fastball. He made an adjustment. He said this park, combined with the Phillies, who are high fastball hitters, he decided to stay down. Talking to R.A. Dickey in this park, he said, Paul, I throw a knuckleball. I can't change just because of the park. But a key for me, too, is keeping the ball down. As you heard from Chip and Joe, to get those good ground balls. I don't have to strike guys out. I go off miss hits. What's the moral of the story? If you are a pitcher, keeping the ball down is never a bad option. Back to you, Chip and Joe.
You ought to know, Paul. Did a good job of that.
Dickey tonight, 3 groundouts, 3 strikeouts. And he's got Odubel Herrera to lead off. Remember, Herrera tried to bunt in the first inning, and this is a man that has 11 straight extra base hits and 21 doubles already. More on that in a second. Last year, Odubel Herrera had 21 doubles and 656 plate appearances.
Goodness. Well, he got quick pitched right there, and he just dropped his bat. He didn't know what to make of it.
Two balls and a strike.
RA's got to be pleased with what his knuckleball is doing down in the zone tonight, though. As Paul said, he wants to keep it down, keep that ball in the ballpark.
And Herrera, the hottest hitter on the planet, with 12 hits in his last 25 tries. He just took strike 2. Swing and a miss. What a comeback by R.A. Dickey.
That is what will just eat you alive as a hitter. Took a fastball strike and swung at a knuckleball. That was a ball. That wasn't a knuckleball. He turned that over. That was a changeup. Straight changeup. Well done, sir.
7 up, 7 down for Dickey. Here's Altair, who flied out to right. Talked about Odubel Herrera's double streak as this one's popped up. Matt Adams at first base is going to make the play. Altair had an impressive streak. Earlier this year in May, Altair had 3-run homers in 3 straight games. Wow. So they like him a lot. He's played left, he's played right, he's played center. 40 starts this year. He made 54 last season.
Yeah, he was hurt last year. I think a wrist injury.
Phillies have 1 hit. The man in the batter's box is the guy that's got it. That guy is Tommy Joseph. Missed the story last night. He's the 4th Philly since 1930 with 30 or more homers in his first 162 career games. He's got 31 homers. This is game number 160 for him. Chuck Klein, Ryan Howard, and Don Hurst are the other 3 to do what Tommy Joseph has done. Well, he's mixing his pitches really well.
Yeah, he's frustrating the hitters. Everybody's sitting on knuckleball.
Play right side. Nice catch, fan in the front row. And from Decatur, Georgia, came up with a souvenir.
Well, as we're told every day, everything's greater in Decatur.
So Dickey with a full count. And a squibber under his glove. Phillips behind the second base bag. Yeah, it's Joseph by a couple steps. And Joseph frustrated. He thought he had one that was going to sneak into center field. 3 up, 3 down again for Dickey. Starting next Thursday, the world's greatest players battle to be crowned America's champion in golf's can't-miss major of the year. The 117th U.S. Open begins next Thursday on Fox, FS1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
It's quite a place, just rolling hills outside of Milwaukee, and can play over 8,000 yards if they wanted to.
Swing and a high fly ball by Rio toward right. Saunders back to the track is going to have room, and with one pitch, Lively has his first out of the home fourth inning. 8,000 yards?
If they wanted to. I don't think they will do it, but yeah, they can move the boxes back. And I like long hitters in this tournament.
Wow, that would be unbelievable.
It's not that old a course either. It's maybe 15 years old tops.
Sure looked beautiful in those shots that we showed you. There's a ball low to Dansby Swanson. Dansby, his third career 3-hit game last night. First Braves shortstop with a 3-hit 3 RBI game since Yunel Escobar in April of 2009.
See how short that swing is? Just like on the base hit. No wasted motion. He's not getting out in front, getting his weight shifted over his front foot, slowing everything down. Staying back, short and quick to the ball.
Braves got 2 in the first inning off Ben Lively. He scattered his share of hits. And to this point hasn't added on. It's a 2-0 game. And that stayed up and away. 3-1. This one's popped up, and Rupp is going to have room, and there's the second out. So Lively's retired the last 4 Braves hitters. He has a chance for a quick inning if he can subdue R.A. Dickey.
He's getting more movement on his fastball than he had in the first inning. He's locating it better. That slider or breaking ball has not been real sharp yet, but the movement he's getting on the fastball has been very effective the last couple of innings.
Well, as you said, it's really hard to ignore 18-5 and a 2.69 ERA, which is what this young man did in the minor leagues last year. And it's tough to ignore 6-1 and a 2.40 ERA at AAA this year. And with the Phillies and their myriad pitching problems, they're giving him a shot, and for the second straight time he's giving him a chance tonight. He beat the Giants, gave up 2 in the first today, but so far the Braves haven't mustered much else. That's poked toward first. Joseph's got it, and he'll flip to the pitcher covering, and it is an easy home fourth. On we go to the 5th inning. R.A. Dickey's retired 9 in a row. It's another beautiful night at SunTrust Park. The Braves lead by 2. Braves baseball is brought to you by our friends at Audi. It's 2-0 Atlanta over the Philadelphia Phillies. MLB.tv every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for all the details.
Beautiful night.
Well, R.A. Dickey was very self-critical of all the walks that he had been issuing of late. That has not been a problem so far tonight. He has had excellent command. He's retired the last 9 Phillies in order with 4 strikeouts. And already trying to win for the first time in his last 7 starts. Two balls and a strike for Michael Franco, flat out. Another batter lost the bat. This one's going to stick in the screen. Well, that presents an interesting dilemma.
Folks sitting right below that are awfully thankful for that net. I appreciate it didn't go all the way through.
Now, are we going to halt play here? I think we are. The umpires are going to ask the grounds crew or security to get a ladder to remove the bat from the protective netting.
Well, it would be a long shot at best for that to actually come into play, but they're going to That'd be better safe than sorry.
Well, weirder things have happened. You might recall last week the New York Mets had a problem with the ball boy.
Yeah.
Wilmer Flores. So we'll take care of this problem in a second. Ed Mangan, the Braves head groundskeepers, on his way out.
Well, it's no wonder that Michael Franco wanted to just go ahead and get another bat, because it's not his bat. Freddie Galvis. Leave it to Freddie to get it.
So another SunTrust Park first. Our first bat stuck in the protective netting.
Go get it, Ed. Climb that wall.
He's almost there. Heck, if this was old Yankee Stadium, they'd have fans volunteering to climb the nets.
Comes the ladder, Ed. Hang on. Get the ladder unfolded. Hey, all right.
Nice work. And just as soon, of course, as they get the ladder ready to go, that usher turns into the star of the game.
Well done.
I wonder if Ed's going to have the guys in the grounds crew running ladder drills after the game, just to work on their speed, their efficiency. They make the long trek around the warning track and out through the center field gate. Nicely done. Dickey kept playing catch during that long delay. He's got a 2-ball 2-strike count on Michael Franco. In the air to center. Ender on the run. Look at him cover that ground, and he reaches up nicely. One away.
How many times is that Franco's hit a line drive out there to him? At least 3.
He's hit 4 line drives to Inciarte in the series. 2 tonight, and Saunders takes a strike. Saunders struck out in the second inning. He's 1 for 9 in the series. Pop fly foul. It's 0-2. Got the Mets here tomorrow night. I'm guessing the Mets are in town after they wrapped up their series with the Rangers yesterday. Matt Harvey and Julio Teheran square off tomorrow night. And a swing and a miss. Dickey's had Saunders' number twice. He's retired 11 in a row. This is far and away R.A. Dickey's best game.
No question about it. Nothing even close. That thing is dancing. That one changed directions 2 or 3 times. Now the Phillies have to go to St. Louis tonight.
Well, maybe they're catching the Cardinals at a good time. St. Louis lost again to Cincinnati today. Cardinals have lost 9 of their last 11 games and 7 in a row. Mike Leake was the man that started for the Cardinals today. Amazing stat on the Cardinals this year. They have 14 losses this year in games in which they've led by 2 or more runs. That is not Cardinal-like. As Rupp in a deep hole, no balls, 2 strikes. Fought it off again.
Ball boy's going to need some oxygen. That's at least 4 in a row he's had to go retrieve.
That's Mike Plant's son.
Is it? Well, he's getting in shape tonight.
Is his dad down there? Is Mike in the front row?
I don't see him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That's down the right field line. That's headed for the stands. So Drew Plant's going to load up again, bring another set of baseballs for the home plate umpire. Now he's going to go find a Gatorade. One-two pitch. That's down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Struck him out. Rupp was looking for the knuckler, and he got an 85-mile-an-hour fastball. 12 up, 12 down for Ari Dickey. He has struck out 6 men. And the top of the Braves order goes back to work. It's 2-0 Atlanta in Game 4. The top of the order coming up for Atlanta. And it is time for our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
We talk about the good work by the catchers combined. How about the outfielders? First in the major leagues in hits, average, 3rd and on base. They've hit 18 home runs. They only hit 38 all of last year. And I would have to guess that at least 3/4 of those 38 were hit in the last 2 months by the outfield.
Pretty good chance. As this one sprayed out of play, foul by Ender Inciarte, an all-star hopeful for the Braves this year. Again, the Braves won 20 of their last 30 games last year. The arrival of Matt Kemp, it took off, and Ender has another base hit. That's 76 hits, and he's going to try for second, and he's going to get a little too greedy. The Phillies throw him out, trying to stretch a single into a double, and there's the first out of the inning.
I like it. I don't like him getting thrown out, of course, but I like the fact that he was trying to stretch it. Reached out and got a breaking ball. Wasn't hit that hard, but it got through the infield, so a long way to go for the outfielders to come get it. And a good throw from Herrera is the only thing that saved them on that.
So it's a single with an 8-6 put out at second. One away for Phillips. Brandon's doubled, scored, and flied out.
Good try.
That's driven foul right side by Phillips. It's an even count. Line and over short, a base hit. He is squaring up everything. 2 hits for Phillips.
Hits and 28 at bats against the Phillies. Another slider. It's not doing anything, and the Braves aren't missing it.
Two runs on 7 hits for the Braves. Nick Markakis has a single and an RBI already. Early season frustrations for Atlanta wiped away with last night's 14-1 win. During that game last evening, the Braves have been held to a .200 batting average by the Phillies in the first 5 head-to-head. That changed pretty fast. Have not been good on the road this year. Lost 31 of their last 41 road games dating back to last year. They've won 1 road series this year. And lively trails midway through game 4. With the Phillies holding a 2-1 lead in the series to this point. Was in a good spot. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Lively's got a couple of different deliveries to the plate. He's got a slide step that's real quick. He's got a kind of an abbreviated leg kick. But either way, he is fast to home plate. Tough to get a good jump.
Nick wanted that one back. It's now 1-2.
His fastball's been very effective. Scouting report was that he had a pretty good curveball and just a rarely used slider and changeup. The slider tonight has not been very effective at all.
Rupp smothered that. The count now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bouncing ball towards short. Hernandez at second. 1 completes the turn, and that's a double play. After a rocky first inning, Mr. Lively is keeping the Phillies very much alive through 5 innings. Off we go to the 6th. It's 2-0.
Head into the 6th inning. Welcome into our Braves Live set here in the Battery Atlanta. I'm Kelsey Wingert with this Xfinity game break. Keeping you posted on one of the biggest rivalries in baseball. Let's get you out to the Red Sox at the Yankees. Bottom of the 3rd, Yankees up 1, 1 out, 2 on, and Gary Sanchez nails a 3-run shot to left center field off of David Price for his 7th home run of the year. The Yankees currently up 4-1. And the bottom of the 5th. Chip and Joe, the series is even, so this is a rubber match.
And the Yankees have a 2-game lead in the American League East over Boston. Baltimore's 2.5 back. Tampa Bay 5.5 back. And keep an eye on Toronto. They're lurking just 2 under 500 and 6 off the pace.
Wide open.
R.A. Dickey's having himself a great night. He has sat down 12 in a row. He has given up 1 hit. He's got the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Phillies.
You know, R.A. is one of the fastest pitchers in baseball in terms of how many seconds it takes him to throw a pitch. Like 19 seconds or something, right?
That's correct.
You know, there's talk about a 20-second clock. If he's at 19, that will put everybody in a quandary trying to keep pace with that, won't it?
Yeah, I would think it would certainly be an adjustment. Swing and a miss. Galvis is down on strikes. That's 7 strikeouts for Dickey, and he's retired 13 straight. But let me ask you, you played the game. As another peek at Galvis' strikeout. Would a pitch clock work at this level?
I think it would. I think it would. because it works both ways. If a pitcher's ready to pitch and the hitter's not in there, the umpire can signal for a pitch no matter if you're in the box or not. That would certainly cramp the style of hitters like Odubel Herrera, who have been known to take a couple of minutes between pitches to get in the box.
Ryan Braun, another one. As Ben Lively digs in and bounces one towards short. Dansby to his left. There's the second out. Well, there's been some talk, as you said, about Major League Baseball unilaterally imposing those potential game pace changes on the players union. That was in the just completed collective bargaining agreement. It's hoped by Major League Baseball that they can come to some consensus with the players, because the time of game just continues to creep up no matter what baseball or the Players Association tries to do. I think it's 3 hours and 8 minutes now, which is, I think, 8 or 12 minutes longer than it was just a couple of years ago. So the pace of game stuff isn't working particularly well.
Well, it doesn't matter what they legislate. If you don't enforce it, it's not going to work.
That was my point. If the umpires were empowered to, and the penalties were severe enough for the rules that are already in place to be enforced, we wouldn't have to worry about a pitch clock. That isn't happening. There's the 0-1 pitch. There was one story I read today, Joe, that talked about, well, some players agree that the pace of game has to be worked on. It is important in today's society. It's not the time of game, but the pace of game. And one player said that, well, if that's going to happen, one thing that would ensure the pace of game moving along would be an electronic strike zone. And this player suggested that perhaps that would be a bargaining chip, that if they're going to have a pitch clock and make pitchers and batters work more quickly than they have been comfortable doing, then why not eliminate the home plate umpire, so there's absolutely no disagreement at all about whether a pitch is called a ball or a strike. Ground ball to first. Adams has it. He's going to take it to the bag himself, and we will continue to ponder that question when we come back for the home sixth. 2-0 Atlanta. Dickey pitching masterfully at home tonight. Game concert at SunTrust Park this Saturday. Boy, we got a big day at the ballpark Saturday. A doubleheader with the Mets, then the post-game concert with country star Jake Owen. Tickets are going quickly, so get your seats today. Go to Braves.com/tickets. R.A. Dickey has set down 15 consecutive men. He's allowed one hit. And the Braves with 2 runs in the first. That's been more than enough to this point. Matt Kemp will lead off. And that one's fouled and out of play. Point about the electronic strike zone that this player was talking about was, how many times do you see a player step out of the box and turn and ask the umpire, where was that pitch? Was it high? Was it low? That's all added time. If you have some mechanism in place where it's red light, green light, whatever you want to use, there's no arguing, because the electronic eye answers everything.
Sadly, I think that will happen. I don't know if it's in my lifetime, but I think it'll happen because technology is too great.
Kemp swings and misses and is down on strikes. That ends his perfect night. And there's out number one. And again, I talk to fans when I get stuff on Twitter. Nothing generates more debate or more talk than the pace of game, time of game discussion. And there was an article earlier this year that discussed this as Adams smokes one in the center for a hit, his first of the night. This article made an excellent point. There really are two different audiences that watch Major League Baseball. The fans that come to the ballpark are loving the in-game experience. They don't care if it's a 3.5 hour game. They want it to last as long as they possibly can. And that's the difference of a live event versus a televised event. It's a different medium. It's a different audience. Fans are in and out. They're changing channels, moving back and forth to other programming. As Tyler Flowers digs in, takes a strike.
What are your thoughts on that, Paul?
Well, I agree with what you guys are saying. I just, as a pitcher, you know, it's a proven fact, and fielders will tell you this, that no one wants to wait around. They want a pitcher that works fast, and that their defense will actually play better for them if the pitcher works fast. So for me, why wouldn't I want that? You know, so I want to work fast, but then, you know, you hear, hey, slow the game down. It gets kind of confusing. So what I tell pitchers is get the ball back as quick as you can, get on the mound, get your sign, then take a deep breath, pick up your target, and then slow the game down and hit your spot. But if you do that, I think the players will play behind you, and guys don't want to step out of the box when the pitcher's standing there on the mound, you know, staring at the glove. It communicates he means business, and I just believe the pitcher dictates the pace of the game a lot more than anybody else.
Couldn't agree more. And of course, we know the flip side of some pitchers who don't work fast and never did. Steve Traxel was awful in terms of how long he used to take between pitches. Currently, Matt Shoemaker of the Angels, 26.6 seconds. Yu Darvish, second slowest, 26.4.
And if it's a long game, it's a long game. I don't think, you know, I think whether you're watching, Chip made a great point, but as I think about his point, two different audiences, which I've never heard before. Chip, that was really a great point. I don't know that there's anybody sitting watching that wants to see the pitcher just walk around the mound and collect his thoughts and look off in the distance and then come back and then get the sign. You know, they want to see some offense. They want to see guys work quick, and the action away from the pitcher, as you indicated, is always fun to watch and never boring.
I'm going to disagree with wherever the source was on the two different audiences and the in-game experience, because the in-game experience is between innings. The game is the experience while the game's going on, and fans do care about some guy that's taken forever to either throw it or get in the box to hit it. The experience comes between innings.
Driven down the right field line, and Saunders is not going to get there. Good hustle by him, but he comes up short. Well, one thing that's frustrated baseball is it seems that, generally speaking, there have been three outcomes: home run, walk, strikeout. Generally speaking, baseball wants more action, and that's why I am careful to use the term, as did this article, pace versus time. There's a lot happening, and guys are playing crisply, and it's a 10-9 4-hour game. Nobody really seems to complain about that. But we have to, I think, in agreeing with that article, understand that whether we like it or not, we are a less patient society than we used to be. The idea of folks sitting around for 3 hours to watch a game does not happen all that often. And so the challenge for baseball is another shot to center. And Herrera turned the wrong way. That's going to go all the way to the fence. Adams on his way to third. They're going to wave it. There'll be no throw. It's dropped. And what happened to Herrera in center? That ball was creamed. There's a big insurance run. It's 3-0 Atlanta.
It's another one of those Tyler Flowers rockets. High, got on top of it, and it started slicing a little bit, and it was hit so hard after turning the wrong way, there was no way for Herrera to compensate for that.
So Flowers has had a good night. He's caught R.A. Dickey beautifully, and he's got his 17th run batted in. 3-0 Braves, 9 hits. And Rio Ruiz the batter. So the last point I'll make is that viewing habits have changed. Our society's changed. Attention spans are much shorter. Games are longer. That is the inherent challenge. And what Rob Manfred in baseball is trying to do is, as this one's hit to the right side, nice pickup. Hernandez, runner to third, 2 outs. Trying to tailor the game to enhance the viewing experience for the next generation of baseball fans, many of whom live with their mobile devices. We'll see how it works out. Swanson's going to be intentionally walked, and R.A. Dickey will come up with now 2 on and 2 out. See there, we saved all of like 3 seconds.
Well, whatever they decide to do, to whatever extent, it's not going to make a bit of difference if it's not enforced.
Chip, am I allowed a final thought?
Sure.
With 2 outs, I'll try quick here. You know, when they asked Frenchie Joe and myself who our favorite players were growing up, they were all home run hitters. Everybody loves home runs. Home runs are up. That's good for baseball. Strikeouts up. You either like, as you mentioned, the home run, the strikeout. Yes, Greg Maddux, whose favorite pitcher to watch was, he would say Randy Johnson. I want to see the heat. It's nasty. So we got the strikeouts, we got the home runs, improved pace of play, a few other things. I think we're on our way.
Another good inning for Atlanta. A run on 2 hits. Tyler Flowers with an RBI double. R.A. Dickey goes to work in the 7th. He's set down 15 straight. Moon rising over the left field stands here at SunTrust Park as we take a live look in on our Xfinity cam. R.A. Dickey is having a tremendous game. He has set down 15 straight Philadelphia Phillies. He's given up 1 hit, and he's got a 3-0 lead.
1 hit shutout. And as important, no walks.
He's got Herrera, Altair, and Joseph coming up in the Phillies 7th.
That was a big run there in the 6th for the Braves.
That's dumped down the third base line, and that'll end up in the first row of seats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, if RA can get through this inning, that would make 3 starts in a row where a Brave starter has gone at least 7 innings.
That's a good sign, isn't it?
Jaime Garcia went 7 2/3 in game 1. Excuse me, game 2. Mike Foltynewicz, 7 innings of shutout ball last night. Dickey with 6 innings of no-run baseball in game 4. And a looper over third. That's going to find some green grass, and that's the second Phillies hit. Guess what it is for Herrera? You guessed it, a double. His 22nd 2-base hit.
6th of this series. And it was just a flare, fighting off a high knuckleball.
Aaron Altair, the batter, he's 0 for 2. He's fly to right, popped to first. Right there, strike 1.
Altair stands there with the bat on his shoulder for the longest time. But he's hitting in the 290s with 9 homers. He's doing all right.
Missed outside. Altair's a big kid, 6'5", 219 pounds. The Phillies took him in the 9th round in 2009. And you're right about his wrist. He tore a tendon in his left wrist in early April. And didn't come back to play until late July for the Phillies. And that wrist might have still been a little tender for him. He hit a .197 in 57 games. Made his season debut against the Braves. There was no problem with his wrist on July 28th. He went 3 for 4 with a homer.
Good pitch, just missed.
That is a foul ball. Altair can't believe that thing trickled foul at the bag. So he'll go back to work with a 2-2 pitch.
See if he can throw that downer knuckleball. Been up this inning. You know, with most pitchers later in the ball game, if they start getting the ball up, you say, well, he's getting tired and can't get the ball down. I don't know how you know with a knuckleballer.
He threw 97 pitches in his last game. 4 starts ago, threw 117 pitches, then came back on short rest and threw 102 pitches against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I'm honestly surprised it's that high. Thought he'd gotten a lot of early count outs and hasn't walked anyone.
But 8 strikeouts will rack up your pitch count, and that's exactly what RA has as Altair swings and misses for the first time. There's the first out of the inning.
There's the downer. Tyler Flowers has done a nice job tonight too with a ball that is moving a lot for Dickey.
Joseph had the first Phillies hit. It led off the second inning. Herrera's got a big lead. And Joseph didn't get it. Strike 1. Really happy that this guy's been able to resume his baseball career after concussions really waylaid him a couple of years ago. This one's hit toward third. Rio's got it, and his toss across perfect. 2 outs.
Two of the hardest hit balls all night have been hit by Joseph. One for a base hit.
So one more man to get. It's Michael Franco. Ender, you're on alert. Franco's hit it there twice. And Franco just hasn't been able to get on track for the Phillies this year. The Braves have had a lot to do with that. Michael now 3 for 26 at the plate against the Braves staff.
He had a rough night in the field last night too. Ball's getting under him and by him.
Now when things are going badly, this is the count you find yourself in a lot.
Sure. Something else, Brandon Phillips is just deking a little bit, like he's going to try to bolt in for a pickoff on Herrera, and Herrera keeps running back to the bag, and that's distracting if you're a hitter too.
That's into right field, a base hit. They're going to wave Herrera around. Markakis' throw coming to the plate. Flowers is there. And the Phillies are on the board with a 2-out hit from Michael Franco.
And he waited a long time on that pitch. Just fought it off. Up and in. Throw was up the line a little bit, otherwise they might have had a crack at him.
So the Phillies have scored in the 7th. And Saunders, the hitter. Dickey has struck him out twice. And Chuck Hernandez is out for a chat. Braves bullpen is stirring. This will give Dickey a chance to catch his breath as he's ready to make pitch number 100. He has not had many high stress pitches in this game. Now with 8 strikeouts and only 3 hits allowed.
Jose Ramirez is up. Worked an inning last night. Not too many pitches. Got a strikeout too.
So RA is ready to go. Wow, that was close. Ready pitch, strike one. To second, Brandon Phillips will flip to Dansby Swanson, and for the first time since last May, the Braves have 3 consecutive starts of 7 innings or more. Tonight it's R.A. Dickey's turn, and we head to the stretch.
In the show tonight, his best start by far in a Braves uniform. He has had it working. That knuckleball's been dancing all over the place. You're seeing some of his 8 strikeouts tonight, up, down, all around. Tyler Flowers, catching him for the first time this year, has done an excellent job. Tricked a couple of guys with the fastball. Had a stretch where he'd retired 15 in a row before giving up a run there in the 7th inning. Outstanding night for him. 101 pitches, 3 hits, no walks. Big deal there.
So whatever adjustments R.A. Dickey made in his bullpen session, they paid off big time tonight. We'll see if he continues in the 8th inning, as it's now a 2-run game. Ender Inciarte set to lead off for the Braves. Phillips and Markakis to follow. Ben Lively back out there for Philadelphia. He's only thrown 84 pitches now. And after a very shaky first inning, this young man's pitched an impressive game. And it's pulled foul.
Yeah, he'd only be down a run if it weren't for the misplay in center by Herrera. He's thrown many changeups tonight. That was a good one.
To third. Nice pickup that time. And the throw to first is good to go. 1 out. Franco with a nice spear at third base. That robs Inciarte of a hit. Ender 1 for 3 tonight. And here's Brandon Phillips, who's got 2 more hits at home.
Franco got a base hit and drove in a run. Might have awakened him at third base too. Nice play.
Quickly 0-2. Lively couldn't find a side to his liking, so Phillips steps out. Popped him up. And Joseph at first is going to make the play. There's the second out.
Front door breaking ball. I'm not sure that's what he meant to do, but it worked. No, he's pitched well tonight.
And the Phillies starting staff entering play tonight, 12 wins, a 5.20 ERA. Only 18 quality starts.
2 walks for him tonight, but one of those was intentional.
Pitch to Beauty for Pete Mackanin. As Joe mentioned, the Phillies head to St. Louis. They open up a series with the Cardinals next. Cardinals are reeling. They lost today. They've dropped 7 in a row. It's quickly 0-2 for Markakis. Had a first inning RBI, has a third inning hit. He's also hit to a double play.
They have kept the fastball in on Nick all night, as they have tried to do to Adams.
That's pulled foul.
25-year-old right-hander trying to do exactly what Cameron Rupp asked him to do, which was throw it right on top of the dirt. He came close to doing that.
To second. Hernandez to his right. And that will end the Atlanta 7th. Good ball game tonight at SunTrust Park. Braves 3, Phillies 1. We've got a big series coming up this weekend, and that's the big story. For more on that, let's join Kelsey Winger.
Thank you, Chip. After the Phillies leave town tonight, the home games in June that we've talked so much about will continue with that 4-game series versus the Mets. Thanks to the doubleheader on Saturday, we'll get Harvey and Tehran tomorrow night. Both of these teams, exact same record, 25-32, both 11.5 games back of Washington for the NL East. Now, the Mets were off today, so they might honestly just be watching this broadcast right now, nice and comfy in their hotel rooms. But, BJ, checking out the Mets a little bit deeper. They're 2-5 in their last 7 games with a 6.53 ERA. Season series split even at 4-4, and you can see there they do have some key injuries. So what are you really looking for in this series for the Braves?
You know what? I know Jay Bruce and Conforte has really been carrying this ball club, but they just can't do it alone.
Yeah.
With those injuries, Cespedes is really a huge injury in this offense, and pitching hasn't been up to par. This is not the same Mets team as we saw a year ago, with great pitching and a great offense behind it. Right now, they're struggling a little bit, but I never count them out when it comes to Braves and Mets matchup. So I expect, you know, it'll be a tough series this weekend.
It's always a tough series, Chip and Joe. We've seen it before, and hopefully this weekend the Braves can get a couple of more wins, and then we go back on the road to D.C. and then come back home for some more home games in June, as we're in this beautiful month where we have so much time here at SunTrust Park.
That's always a good thing, Kelsey, and they're right. The Mets are not the team that everyone thought they'd be, not because they're underachieving. It's because Terry Collins hasn't had his team by and large from the opening bell this year.
Yeah, it's really a shame. Familia went on the disabled list when the Braves last saw them. He hit a double and pulled his hamstring trying to get to second base, and hasn't played hardly at all, trying to rehab and come back. So he's still on the DL. Syndergaard same way. It's been a while, but this will be a team that comes in, especially on the doubleheader on Saturday, maybe with a little hop in their step, getting Steven Matz back on Saturday. Seth Lugo will pitch on Sunday, and so we'll see Harvey tomorrow night. They need him, as they always do, to step up and be big for them.
Yeah, for the Braves on Saturday, it's going to be an exciting day because Matt Whistler is going to pitch and Sean Newcomb is going to make his major league debut. The Braves at this point have not yet announced the order in which those two guys will pitch the double dip, but that'll be a lot of fun on Saturday with New York. As the Braves lead by 2, Arodys Vizcaíno will come in for R.A. Dickey, who pitched 7 magnificent innings tonight. R.A. retired 18 of the final 20 batters he saw. About 1 run on 3 hits.
Nice little break here for Vizcaíno too. He's had 5 days off. Worked a lot on the last road trip.
No balls, 2 strikes. After a night full of knuckleballs for the Phillies hitters, now they have to contend with Vizcaíno, who can rush it up there 97 or higher. And that just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Phillies catcher.
There's some 98 for you.
One ball, 2 strikes for Rupp. Base is empty. Right down Broadway, and Rupp couldn't pull the trigger.
Ooh. Had a little something on it too. Oh, some life too, tailing back into it.
If R.A. Dickey can throw a knuckleball and then an 85-mile-an-hour fastball that the hitters freeze on, what in the world do the Phillies hitters think about 98 right down the middle? How fast does that look to them?
That's an adjustment.
That's off the plate to Freddie Galvis. Galvis is 0 for 2. And now he's ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. No walks here. This clean inning would be just what the Braves would like. Arodys Vizcaíno.
Not a foul tip. It sounded like it, but it was off the glove and then off the umpire's shin guard.
That caught a corner, 3-1.
Ball's really moving. His fastball.
Same pitch, same call. Dansby at short. Backhand play. Long throw. And an infield hit for Galvis. Perfectly placed. And the Phillies will go to their bench as Ben Lively, the pitcher's spot, is due.
That was pretty good at getting a base hit in his last or next to last at bat. He's now hitting 6 straight. Good try by Dansby.
Daniel Nava's coming up. Nava's 6 for 15 for the Phillies as a pinch hitter with a couple of RBIs. He's hitting .306 overall. 62 at bats, 12 walks, 10 strikeouts.
Coming into play tonight, left-handers hadn't had that much success against Vizcaino either. I know Galvis just got an infield hit off of him, but they were 7 for 39, a 179 average before that at bat.
Just missed to Nava. Mentioned those pinch hit numbers for Daniel. He is much improved off the bench. He was 0 for 10 as a pinch hitter last year. 6 for 15 with the Phillies now. 4 teams in the American League for Nava: Boston, Tampa, the Angels, and Royals. And already he's 3 for 4 against Atlanta pitching. Two balls and a strike. Broke in with the Red Sox in 2010 and broke in with a bang. He was the 4th player at the time in big league history to hit a grand slam in his first major league plate appearance. And along with Kevin Kuzminoff, is one of 2 players to hit a grand slam on the first pitch they saw in the major leagues.
That's pretty special, right? And a guy that had been in the independent leagues.
Started with Chico in 2007. The Red Sox saw something, namely a .371 average. They signed him as a non-drafted free agent. And then Daniel Nava began his trek to the big leagues with Lancaster, where he led the league in hitting. .341. .339 at Salem, .364 at Portland, .289 at Pawtucket, and then 2010 to Fenway Park. And that just missed the outside corner, ball 4. So an infield hit and a walk. As I told you, Nava's not afraid to take base on balls, and all of a sudden the Phillies have the tying runs aboard with 1 out.
And his fastball is really moving. That one started at the outside corner but tailed off. Ian Kroll begins to loosen up.
Galvis with an infield hit. Nava with a walk as a pinch hitter. Cesar Hernandez is coming up. He's 0 for 3.
And he's got 5 homers. He's got some pop in his bat too. Braves have been in control of this game since the bottom of the 1st inning. R.A. Dickey had their number. Now all of a sudden they've got some life.
Lifetime against Vizcaíno. Hernandez 2 for 5. One of those hits is a home run. That'll bounce to the Phillies dugout foul. Even count for Cesar.
Vizcaíno was in 5 games on that road trip. 1 against the Giants, 2 against the Angels, 2 against the Reds. And he took a loss when he gave up that home run to Eric Young Jr.
That'll work.
That was the only run he allowed in those 5 outings.
Roadies is ready with his 1-2 pitch. And it's fly to center. It's deep. Ender on the run. Still going. He got it. What a catch. Tagging is Galvis. He's going to stop at third. Ender Inciarte to the center field wall. Track down that laser beam. And that's the second out of the inning.
Playing him over a little toward left center, gave him a good angle on this ball, able to track it the whole way. Wasn't directly over his head.
So Brian Snitker will go to the mound and take the ball away from Arodys Vizcaíno, who went 2/3 of an inning, a hit, a walk, and a great catch by Inciarte again to protect the lead for the moment. It's 3-1 Atlanta in the 8th.
Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
3-1 Atlanta. Phillies threatening in the 8th. Runners at the corners and 2-man out. Can't think of what to get your dad for Father's Day. Get him a 4-game plan and pick all the games he'll want to go to. Bring him to all 4 post-game concerts. Get all 4 remaining bobbleheads, or even pick his favorite matchups over the final 4 months of the season. Go to Braves.com/4game and get your dad's gift today. This is Ian Kroll. He's the 3rd Atlanta pitcher to work in Game 4 against the Phils.
His ERA is coming down after some early season bad innings. He hasn't had any that have been that troubling lately, and lefties are only at 156 against him. 5 for 32. He was in 5 innings on the road trip, struck out 8.
So let's get Herrera here and turn things back over to the offense in the 8th. Herrera doubled and scored in the 7th. That's the only Phillies run. And up against the screen foul, strike 1. Ramirez 2 for 9 lifetime against Ian Kroll, but they had a memorable matchup in April. Strike 2. Flashback to Citizens Bank Park, April 23rd.
It was an 8th inning launch.
That was the third of 3 consecutive homers hit by the Phillies. Hernandez, Altair, and Herrera went back to back to back in that game. Philadelphia scored 4 times in the 8th inning to turn around what was a 2-1 Atlanta lead.
First 2 homers were off Vizcaíno. Outfield playing deep, trying to prevent the ball being hit over their head that would allow the tying run to score from first.
Now the 1-2. It's a line drive to third. Cole might have broken his bat. And the Phillies threaten but can't break through in the 8th inning.
Today, how about Matt Kemp? If you didn't like him before, you're going to love him now. Giving back with the Junior Braves RBI program. This is with Samuel L. Jones Boys and Girls Club here in Atlanta. Giving the guys some tips, talking about sports to help them in education, and he goes out and shows them the over-the-shoulder basket catch. Who else can do that? Taking pictures. He was a hero. And when I asked Matt why, he said, Paul, I never got to meet my favorite player growing up, so I wanted to make a difference, and hopefully I was one of their favorite players and give a chance for kids to take a photo and learn a few things. Great job, Matt. Way to give back. Chip and Joe, back to you guys.
Yeah, great thing. And obviously he was having as much fun as the kids were.
Well, Matt's dream was to play for the Braves someday. They were his favorite team growing up in Oklahoma. And after his acquisition, he wrote that tremendous Players Tribune article talking about how this was a fresh start for him, and he has made the most of it so far as a Brave. He's going to face Edubre Ramos in the bottom of the 8th. Atlanta looking for a little more insurance, leading 3-1. Kemp, Adams, and Flowers coming up. That trio's done some good work at the dish. Kemp with 2 hits and an RBI tonight.
Ramos throws a ton of sliders, as you just saw. And he's got a good fastball. He can go as high as 96, but man, he throws a ton of sliders.
That pitch bounced up for Matt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Line to short, and Galvis to a knee makes the catch. And Kemp is retired. He's 2 for 4.
Put a good swing on that.
Matt Adams, a 1 for 3 night. He scored the all-important 3rd run for the Braves. Adams singled, scored from first when Tyler Flowers hit a ball over the head of Odubel Herrera in straightaway center. And a line drive for Matt. He's got a multi-hit game. All the people I talked to with the Cardinals said all this guy needs is a chance to play. And what a great, at the time, under radar move for the Braves to get Matt Adams after Freddie Freeman went down with injury. Matt is swinging the bat. It's definitely an on the radar acquisition now.
5 hits for him in this series, and he's sitting 6 straight games. I would guess that Herrera's playing a little deeper than he was last time Flowers was up there when he burned him. He drove in a big run at the time, made it 3-0. Still a big run.
That's driven foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
See, Miami's beating Pittsburgh tonight in Pittsburgh 7-0. There's probably no one in Pittsburgh that even knows that.
Because
Stanley Cup going on.
The question is, can the Marlins outscore the Penguins tonight?
Be tough.
By the way, that was Edinson Volquez against Garrett Cole. Line over second. Another base hit for Tyler Flowers. Of course, Volquez coming off his no-hitter last time out. If he had a no-hitter, we would have heard by now, but no runs allowed by Miami's staff tonight.
Down and through. Boy, his rhythm has been so good. His timing has been so good all year long.
I would say perhaps this is one of Tyler's all-around best games of the year, considering the assignment he had catching R.A. Dickey for the first time.
Agreed.
Two on, 1 out for Rio Ruiz. Ruiz getting a chance to play third with Adonis Garcia out with a injured finger. He did that swinging the bat in this series. Rio's looking for his first hit of this series. He's 0 for 7, but he's walked 3 times and he scored 3 runs. It was part of the barrage of offense from the bottom part of the order last night. He scored 14 times, but 8 of the runs were scored from the 6, 7, and 8 spots on the lineup card. Two. Big showdown in Chicago tonight. The Rockies and the Cubs. Colorado is excellent year, and they're winning again tonight, 4-1. Rockies have 38 wins.
Second only to Houston. I'd like to see this guy make a mistake with that slider down and into Rio.
Good hitters always talk hitting, don't they?
Always.
And now the 2-2 pitch. It's court into the seats, right side, foul.
Almost. Hope everybody's okay down there.
So we'll do it again, even count. And a good eye, full count. Dansby Swanson would be next. That's foul behind the plate. His first big league home run came against Max Scherzer. Love to just split a gap right here and chase home two. Instead, he's going to ground to short. There's one, and the throw to first is in time, and Ramos pitches out of Atlanta trouble in the 8th inning. Last call for the Phillies. It's 3-1.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Delta Airlines.
For our unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Look at what's going on with the Mississippi Braves.
All-stars, 7 of them, and one guy's only been there about 3 weeks. Ronald Acuna makes the All-Star game as an outfielder for the Mississippi Braves as a short timer. Travis Demeritte having a tremendous year after the Braves got him from the Texas Rangers. He's leading that team in home runs and RBIs. Double checking here to 10 and 31. Congratulations to all you gentlemen. Well done.
And you're right about Acuna. 109 at bats, 40 hits. And he's only played 28 games.
Wow.
At Double-A. So Jim Johnson's on to try to nail it down for R.A. Dickey. He's got Aaron Altair to start things, and Jim delivers a strike. Jim's looking for his 12th save. And as we've seen so often with Jim, he gets a little rest. All of a sudden, that fastball's movement is excellent. Good sinking action to it. And he's quickly ahead 0-2. Something Jim does exceptionally well is get the first batter out. He's 21 out of 24 in that statistic.
Boy, it's so important in this spot.
Altair didn't offer. It's an even count.
Do everything you can to prevent the tying run from coming to the plate.
Dansby at short. Backhanded stab. Long throw. 1 out.
That was a great example of something we've been talking about setting up for that backhand. And I asked Ron Washington about it, and he said it's about angles and playing angles. If he were to try and get in front of that ball, he'd have to circle it and take more steps and take more time to get in front of it. But by cutting at a sharp angle to the ball and backhanding it, you save time and can get rid of it quicker. Tell you what, Ronnie Wash has got it down.
That's a real treat for us. We get to the park 3-4 hours before the game, and Ron's out there with all of his infielders, taking them through their paces and his specific drills. In fact, we saw Sean Rodriguez out today.
Wasn't that fun? That was great. I know he enjoyed being out there. Not throwing, just taking some grounders and going through Ronnie's drills.
Still a chance we might see Sean before the season's over. His season, of course, interrupted by that horrific car accident down in Miami that injured not only Sean Rodriguez but his family too.
Ryan Snitker was speaking very positively about it yesterday, day before, about how hard he's working and the progress he's making and the hopes that he will be able to play before the year's out.
Two balls, 2 strikes for Tommy Joseph. To center. Ender on the run. He's going to get there again.
And if anybody tried to steal the mound, he was going to throw him out at the mound too, and he threw it in. You know, this isn't about I don't know how to describe it. He gets such great breaks and has such good angles to balls. He doesn't waste any steps, and he's so quick getting there. He's fast, of course, we know that, but man, oh man, does he take good paths to the baseball.
And the Phillies have to be wondering if the Braves are playing with 2 center fielders out there, because everything that's been hit that way tonight has been caught. Man in the batter's box knows all about that. Michael Franco is flied out to center twice. He's knocked in the lone run that came in the 7th. Braves need 1 more out to split the series, and they're going to get it. Comebacker, and Jim Johnson saves it for R.A. Dickey in a beautiful ball game at SunTrust Park tonight. The Braves earn their 26th victory, their 2nd in a row over the Phillies. Now we get set for a big weekend with the New York Mets starting tomorrow night. Atlanta 3, Phillies 1. The fireworks are booming. We'll talk about it after the break.